Hood Postman, Hood Postman, reporting live, reporting live. This the Hood Postman, come and check the program. You ain't from the streets, this is something you should know, man. Running from police, gotta grip the wheel with both hands. Speeding down the interstate, please do not approach him. 40s in the fridge, got the caddy in the driveway. Get all out of my face, I don't wanna violate. Looked up in the mirror and I told myself, why wait? We took this shit worldwide, you only in 5 states. Came from the 4 corners with my 4 quarters. Showed them the style, then they stole on us. Times got wild, then they told on us. Dog, it was hard, but we had to keep it rolling. You ain't gotta ask, you know where to find me. I be in the back streets where it get grimy. It's just me and Mel, Rennie looking bride D. I be going hard till I'm in the 5 C's. Know the vibes, I'ma do it till I die. I ain't never switched sides, I ain't never had to tell a lie. Let's ride. Know the vibes, I'ma do it till I die. I ain't never switched sides, I ain't never told them no lie. Let's ride. Hood Postman, 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 Hood Postman.
Shout out to the Mailroom Nation and the Mailroom Goons. I am Professor Melly Mail, the Hood Postman. There's nobody in the chat. What's going on? Am I connected? Let's see. Going live. Let me see what's going on. Oh, there everybody is. I was confused there for a moment. Hello. Oh, wow. I couldn't see you guys' comments in there. I didn't see you guys in the chat. So I was wondering, can you guys hear me okay out there? Can you hear me? Anybody can hear me? Say yay, 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 or nay, nay, nay. We're here. Okay. For some reason, the chat is not coming up, so I can't see anybody. Okay, good enough. I guess we're there. It'll catch up. The algorithms at some point will catch up, right? So once again, I am Professor Melly Mail, the Hood Postman. You know the vibe. Be sure to click the notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment down below so when the dope content hit, it'll feel like it's the 1st and the 15th. Good to have you guys here today. Once again, Gang Tales Publication. Yes, sir. We are in the house. This is a day where, if you look out, your life is good as your mindset. Your life is good as your mindset. Never be a prisoner of your past. It was a lesson, not a life sentence. It was a lesson, not a life sentence. I want you guys to know and understand that the story I'm about to travel down and tell is by myself. And it's about karma, and it's about compassion, and it's about showing somebody humility in their most critical hour. This happened relatively around in the 80s. I was in the dunya, what we like to call, what Muslims like to call the life. And I was involved in all kind of fitna. Fitna is stuff that's forbidden in life. And I was my business deals were with some Muslims. And a lot of time people will respect you more and give you an open door invitation when you understand their culture and you know something about their language and you understand the culture. That's really give you access to certain groups and individuals. I had business dealings with some brothers, and it was over. They had a grocery store over off Atlantic. And this particular day, I pulls up as usual to get out, car park, get out, see a couple of people out. My people out there might need $1, $2, whatever. You know, all these type of peoples out there. You know, hey brother, buy me a bottle of wine or something. You know, it's always just that thing, right, with our people. You know, and I would go inside and we would conduct our business a cat now. And I'm not going to, say what it was or what it wasn't. Ali, and they was Kuwait. They was from Kuwait and very astute businessmen, astute individuals, very smart, intelligent. So they, we wind up doing business together. So this one particular day I pulls up. Can you guys hear me? Everybody can hear me okay? Because I can't really see nobody in the chat. I can only see what I see. Let me go over here, then come back in and see if that works. I want to be able to know that I'm reaching you guys. Okay, let me try one thing, okay? Because I got to know that I'm reaching you. If I don't know when I'm reaching you, it won't be. Hear you loud and clear, Professor. Okay, good enough. I just can't see the numbers. Can you see the numbers, Marlena? For some reason, they're not showing. Okay, well, I can't see them. Shout out to Compton girl. What's going on, girl? How you doing? So I go in, right? So when I'm going in, there's these cats pull up, about four of them in the cat, like they pull up and they pull up right by the door, and I gotta walk past them. So they step out the car and they look and see me, and they automatically, what I'm saying, hey, blood, where you from? So I turned and looked at him. Now I ain't no buster or nothing, so hey, I tell him where I'm from. Because we was in that time and era where somebody asked you where you from, you told them. Whether they liked it or disliked it, it didn't matter. I go inside the store, right? So unknown to me, whatever I said to them, they didn't particularly like what I said, what came at them. They didn't particularly take it well. And now they trying to position or settle in their mind what their next move is going to be. I don't think nothing of it. That's just how I carry myself. I wasn't even thinking a second thought, not even guessing if they were trying to, do anything. I just thought it was in casual passing. Well, hey, where you from? I'm saying, okay, cool, boom. Because it was like, cool, boom. We from such, okay, cool, right on. More power to you. All that. So I go in and conduct in there. So I do the business. I got 5,000 in my pocket, unknown to them. So when I come out, I see my uncle standing right there. My uncle used to go around, and my uncle had a truck, a moving truck, not a moving truck, but like a junk truck. He would go around and help people move stuff and collect stuff. He did a lot of collecting, around, various cities and neighborhoods and communities. So I stopped talking to my uncle. As I'm talking to my uncle, the dude approached me again. And as I turned to him, my uncle said, "Watch out." And when I turn again, he hit me across my nose with a 40 ounce. Hit me across 40 ounce. So immediately, my uncle because my uncle was elderly. My uncle at that time had to be about close in his 70s. So there was really nothing he could do. He had that Russell pistol that he usually carried with him in his pocket. So there was really nothing he could do. So my next move, I turn because the blood is coming down, and I'm trying to fight these dudes because they coming at me now. So I tuck and run inside the store, jump behind the meat counter and grab a meat cleaver. I grab a meat cleaver, and I'm coming back over the counter. By this time, Ali come out with the thing. Bam, he on them, right? They run out the store, jump in the car, and pull off. Tear off. So they call no, right. So they call the paramedics. So the paramedics come, they come in. Shout out Mountain and Gas. How are you doing, brother? The paramedics come and they immediately start working on me, get me all cleaned up, whatever. So they're gonna have to transport me to St. Francis. So I get to St. Francis. When I get to St. Francis, Ernest and Ruby Jewel was two friends of mine. Their daughter worked there. And she's the nurse, she's the RN there. So she called them and tell them I'm in the hospital. So they rush up there. And then surely people start rushing up trying to find out. And what people do, trying to find out what happened. So I get in there, and it all was such a blur and it happened so fast. I really didn't anticipate it. But and let me add this part. As I'm coming out, by this time, I see a cat that I know from the mob named Taxman, Matthew. Matthew was a person, like, I think Matthew, if I had to put Matthew in a category out of the mob, I would have put him more as an enforcer, somebody over there that they respected. Right, somebody that a lot of those dudes might have looked up to, but me and him, I looked out for him because I used to see him in certain places, and I've never been like that. If you was for such and such a neighborhood, you was somewhere you didn't belong, it wasn't for me to reveal that to the dudes that I know might bring you some harm. Why would I do that? That's just what my mindset is, right? So he got into it with these dudes. The dudes, and they was actually Pirus, and he was a Piru, but he get into them. So I don't even remember where it was from. I'm not going to even get on that, neither here or there. But I'm telling you these stories because there's always what's behind the appearance is the reality, and I use these allegory stories to take you in another space, and I then relay what the message is behind all this stuff, right? So I get in the hospital in there, bam, they take care of me. Now this doctor in there, he's saying some stuff to me like, whoa, wait a minute, doc, what you mean I might need reconstructive surgery and all this stuff? This is some guy clearly that in my mind, I'm thinking like, nah, it can't be that bad. I'm thinking like maybe he's a first year medical student or something. But anyway, but the real doctor come in and he examine it and he, say, nah, he just got a lot of swelling, a lot of scar tissue, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, a couple of days rest with QP. What's happening? Oh man, appreciate you too. And he come and doing an evaluation, and in a couple of days I'm back out. I'm swollen, whatever. So now I'm thinking about how I'm going to address this issue. What am I going to do? Of course, I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm upset. And I'm feeling like in the old mindset, the old me is say, go look for them, find them, and do what you gotta do. That's what the old me is. The new me is saying that you gotta draw the line somewhere. You can't continue this life and don't expect at some point for karma to come knocking at your door based on your history and based on the things you have done, because we all got secrets. There's nobody in this world that doesn't have secrets. We all got secrets. And a lot of these secrets, we can't tell nobody because they will affect us, and they might affect people around in your family, affect people in your overall community. So let me put it to you like this here. History is best qualified and most attractive to reward all research. If you know what happened yesterday, you can intelligently prepare for today. We grew up in a time in Reagan era, right? What they call Reaganomics. Reaganomics killed black people. I'm talking about from the free lunch programs to the CETA program to the after school programs to the job programs and all these different programs that were set up in our communities, the Little League Baseball, all these programs. It literally killed them. There was no jobs. There was no jobs to be found. So the only people were hiring and accepting applications were the Crips and the Pyrus. Those are only applications that were being accepted in our communities. And those applications are the ones we begin to fill out, because think about it. When I was growing, I filled out the application to become a fireman. I filled out the application to become a journeyman, electrician, numerous of applications to be some other, because I didn't grow up coming into this world to be saying, when I grow up, I'm going to be a Crip. I did not do that. And I don't think most people grew up to say when they come in this world, they were going to be a Pyru. Now that we get into the allegorical part, to where we try to understand how we wind up in these circumstances. And the only people we're hiring was the Crips and the Pyrus. The Crips, you could do burglaries, you can do robberies, you can do licks, you could do car thefts, you can even become a drug dealer. Those were the positions that was open. If you join the Crips, you join the Pyrus. Those positions, they had many seats and vacancies in those positions, and they was ready to be filled. And so a lot of us joined that in order to feel some type of a want, or feel some type of need, or feel some type of a stability, or to have some type of hustle going on. The psychology of the gangbanger was created by the government, y'all. The psychology of it was created right here in the United States. See, when we was born princes and princes. That's how we was born. No, not the position. That's what we was born. Just think about it. I was born a prince. Marlena was born a princess, right? And how I get to that is that we were fed, we were clothed. Our servants even wiped our butts. They even put us to sleep at night. They did everything for us. And this is where you get some stuff where some people say, well, that little kid was spoiled. No, it's because we couldn't do for ourselves. We had servants. Now you get it? So as kids, as little babies, we were prince and princesses. And then we begin to grow. And then once we grow, we got kicked out the nest. But once we got kicked out the nest into the dunya, there was nothing there. And the applications that were holding positions open for us was the Crips and the Pyrus. Can't no man destroy what he didn't build. Can't no man destroy what he didn't build. We got tricked into destroying ourselves. This is what happened to us. Because all those lifestyles and all those things that we later on decided to indulge in and overindulge in, we didn't know they was already pre-set up. They was prefabrications. We didn't know it at the time. Now, if we're looking back at it in retrospect, we begin to understand man, this stuff just wasn't. This stuff is, man, this was a setup altogether. When you go back and look at the prison industrial complex, you look at the cocaine explosion, you look at all the just everything that happened during that time, and certain elements, law enforcement is now rethinking that they should have left the leadership in place. Maybe they would have had a better outcome and be able to kill, because you can't have you can have thorough problems and don't have a thorough solution to get out of those problems. And we're so sunken down the rabbit hole at this time. We don't know how to pull up. So again, once I say this is not a glorification. It's not a glamorization. It is an education. Education in the sense that you don't want to travel down the rabbit hole and travel down the path. And when I tell you these stories, they're for you to take them. It's not for you to become a prisoner and spend a lifetime on it. It's for you to look at it as a lesson and know that you don't want to travel down that path. So speeding up, right? The very guy that initiated the situation over there in front of the store over there on Atlantic with the Muslim brothers, right? I see him one day. It's maybe about 3-4 years later. When I caught him in my eye, I like, bam. And when he looked at me, he stiffened up. And when he stiffened up, I knew exactly who he was, right? And the people that I had with me were both non-nonsense, both quick to draw them yayas, both quick to annihilate and just eradicate anything that was opposing us or they felt that was a threat to us. So when I looked at the dude, right, and I walked up to him, and my two homies, they with me, right, and I began to talk to him. He's so scared of what's about to happen to him, the man literally peed on himself. Because the two individuals that I had with me, they both had them goddammits, and they was out. And all they was looking for was me at some point to say, man, let's take him down, you know. That's all I had to do, but I never said that. So I looked him square in the eyes. I said, brother, let me tell you something, man. We always know where we been, but we don't never know where we going. And this is one of those moments where you didn't know where you was going to wind up or was you going to ever see me again. But here you are right here. And at that time, at that point in my life, I had humbled myself enough to know I had grown up. And I was able to accept the fact that whatever happened to me that day on Atlantic, I didn't lose my life. I didn't lose my money. My ego might have been bruised. And I might have felt a little sore. But I did not lose my life. And I did not lose my dignity. I stood up for what I believed in at that moment, right? And at this time, this man sitting there, standing in front of me with piss running down his leg. Scared to death of what's about to happen. Because I'm telling you, the two individuals that he knew, that I had with me, he recognized who they were, too, as dudes that was about that life. That dudes that wasn't going to hesitate to pull it. You understand? And there's no need to get into names and no need to identify individuals. I'm just giving you a life lesson to show you that humility, at some point, humility has to play a part in the dynamics of the so-called game of life. And once you understand how to do that, then you really have set aside gang banging and gang membership, because they're both cancerous. And if you take any part of that and put it in your pocket, at some point it will metastasize. You don't never hear me say cuss. You don't never hear me say blood. Now, if I'm trying to make a point and I'm trying to draw a conclusion I might use those words metaphorically speaking. But if you're talking de-escalation and you're talking solution, conflict resolution, and conflict management, then those terms have absolutely no standing in articulating the message. Once again, history is best qualified and most attractive to reward all research. If you know what happened yesterday, you can intelligently prepare for the day. And that's just where I stand with that. Because again, the Crips were accepting applications and the Pyrus were accepting applications. But that's because we was pushed in a function of everyday activity that we don't have today. Today, these kids don't have to be in this area because they have what is it called? Hub Group, or Grubhub, Postmate, Amazon, FedEx. You have what's the car was? You guys know the cars. What is the car? I can't think of the cars. You know what people drive people? Because I've never done it, so I'm not really familiar with it. But I know they have programs within these cars, right? Uber, where Uber will sell you a car. Long as you got a license, they'll give you a car in order for you to go pick up people and take them, and plus pay you. I don't know if they still do that. I knew that once upon a time they was doing it. What I'm telling you, during my time, there were no jobs. And then when you apply for the fire department, if more brothers would go apply for the police department and fire department today, we have representatives in our communities. Because the problem in our communities, if you think about it, if you got 30 to 40, 50, at one time we was 80%, 85% in Compton Black, right? That means that maybe 60% of it should have been Black, the police department. And I'm telling you, we had a heavy Black presence in our police department. And, that's why, some of the things that happened, there was a lot of, police can come and, talk to certain individuals. And I've never been one of them individuals. I just ain't never like that side of the fence, but I've seen it happen, I don't know what the negotiations was or whatever. I just don't, it's never been my realm right there. But anyway, I just wanted you guys to understand. I hope if you guys have any questions, what do you guys think about the Cheetah series and the Baba Louie? When Baba Louie jumped, Baba Louie, I think Baba Louie is probably just one of the greatest interviews you can do. Listen what he said, right?
What are most of these hood comprised of when you look at them in totality?
Man, for everybody who's listening, please don't forget this. In all gangs, don't matter where you from, all right? There's always going to be a short few that lead everybody, give them strength. But remember this, baby. Gang members and gang banging, it consists of 25% serious motherfuckers that's really doing it, and 75% cheerleaders. Which one are you?
Lock the door.
Which one are you is what Baba Louie said. Which one are you? I don't want to be either. Not me at this point. There's far too many things I can indulge myself in, and immerse myself in, and find that, because our community, when you think about it, our community is actually frustrated. During the 60s, the music was so on point. We had Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud. We're winners by the impressions. Don't you ever let nobody say that you can't win, right? In the 70s, there was plenty of love music and disco music. Then in the 80s, we had Curtis Blow and Grandmaster and the Fearless Five and Rock the Bell, but LL Cool J and all these different people. I'm talking about they was bringing it. Then you got X-Clan and Public Enemy and Poe Righteous Teachers and De La Soul. But then you can't they took it a step further because of the frustration, right? Frustration. You get NAA. NAA was frustration because they was frustrated the way the police treated them. And they said, F the police. And from there, rap music took on a different persona and it started just going and going and going. And just think about it. Look at our music. If you want to know the state of ours being, look at the music that's playing now. It's misogynistic. It is it's got degradation, misogyny, disparaging, it's insulting. It's got a lot of different things, and it's really talking death. It's talking about smoking your ops and kicking over candles and popping up on Instagram with your blower. It's just all kind of stuff that we ain't never seen before. I'm talking about if you compare it to that 70s and 80s. Like I said, in the 80s, Reaganomics forced a lot of people to accept those applications of becoming Crip and Paru because of the economical circumstances. And there wasn't a whole lot of opportunity. Now, if I was this day and time, I'd be working Uber, Lyft, Grubhub, Postmate. I would be doing it all to avoid any of that other stuff. You understand? But what's your guys' thoughts on that? Anybody have any thoughts on that? Professor, where are your thoughts concerning older men and women participating in hood days with teens young? I think that my thoughts in that is that, bro, if we don't change that narrative, if we don't change what that look like, every time somebody has a hood day, that's a potential day for somebody to die. That is a potential day for somebody because let's think, the adrenaline is flowing. These guys are reflecting, they're getting drunk and Percocets and all this other stuff, and they're reflecting on the ones they lost and the threat of somebody coming and disrupting the community or the hood day, right? There's a lot of this too many. I remember one of this hood day, it was up in Ladera Heights, and a school teacher that was prominent in the community, ran the football league and doing everything he could possibly do to bring up his community. He was murdered on a hood day. Had absolutely nothing to do with the hood day, but all he wanted to do was the guys to tone it down, take it down a notch. There's not enough money in the world for me to go back down to the streets. You're right. It's just not, bro. It's not safe. It's not conducive. Because here's the thing, and about the hoods, right? In hood days, it takes a village to raise a child. But a child who doesn't feel the embrace of the village will burn it down to feel its warmth because that child is not feeling like he's embraced by the village. So whenever, in order, he don't want to see the village succeed, so he just rather just tear it, destroy it, burn it down, do whatever he got to do with tear it, rip it apart. Any other questions? I apologize, but I can't see. I can see y'all questions, but I can't see the actual motivation. Other words, when I say motivation, I don't see the people in here. I don't see y'all. I don't know what I did wrong today, but I don't see y'all. I can see your questions though, and I'm hoping that this message that I'm saying is reaching your ears and traveling from your ears to your mind to your heart, and it's resonating in your soul or resonating in your body in a way that you hold on to these words. But again, history is the best qualified and most attracted to reward all research. If you know what happened yesterday, you can intelligently prepare for the day. And that's where we want to be. Because you guys don't heard me say that history is medicine for a sick mind, but within history is a variety of human experiences we could teach and learn from. And that's what we have to continue to do. We have to at least continue to try to do better. They say if you know better, you do better, right? He said, I'm just listening to you, wise guy. Right on, bro. I appreciate it. Now, I wish the interaction was a little better. That's all. I, it motivates me when I know that the interaction is there. And at this point, I can't tell. So it's a little flat for me. It's a little flat for me. And it's raining. Is it rain gonna ever stop? And know this, man. Your brother, Professor Melly Mel, he always come to this in the most humblest way I can, and I come to it with not wanting to be one way or the other. I want to be down the middle. I'm not for the Crip side or the Pyru side or the Blood side or the Kiwi side or the Damu side. I'm just for black, us being black people and finding the commonality amongst each other, and then let's enjoy ourselves. You know, yeah, and let's just enjoy ourselves. Happy spring, everyone. Marlena, you rubbing it in, Marlena. Everybody knows it's not spring. The groundhog hasn't seen his shadow or whatever. We'll continue to do the work, and we'll come back tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to see everybody and engage you in a way that's the way I like to engage, and it makes me feel better knowing that you guys are getting something from it. And right now, I can't really tell. That's the sad part for me. But other than that, we good. You know, it's amazing. It's always amazing. Let's see. Let's see. It's always amazing. And I don't know what we're gonna talk about tomorrow, but I'm sure. You know what? That's funny too. That's another thing, right? I really never know what I'm gonna talk about until I just start talking. To be honest with you, and sometimes I remember stories, and then I try to dress the story, make it so nobody gets in trouble. Uh, there's no adjudication. All the adjudication is over and done with. There's no the statute of limitations has passed, and you know, because I want to come back with my one boy Rock from Main Street. One time me and him just, but anyway, we're well about that another time. Funny stuff though. But anyway, yes. I appreciate you guys joining me and just bearing with me and having the patience and continue to follow me. Like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment down below. You know, go ahead. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and press the thumbs up. That'll make the algorithm catch and make everybody get this message. Because I'm not here just mumbling and fumbling and saying things and encouraging people to hear gang banging stories. I mean, that's a part of it. But what is the moral of the story? What is the fabric of the story? What is going to be in this story that's going to help me change the youngster's mind or make them pay attention and say, hey, you know, Melly Mel went through some rough stuff, and I want to be who he is today, not who he was yesterday. You know, that's where I'm at with it. Anybody else got anything to say or another question? I feel you. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, and you guys continue to be good, be safe, most of all, be well, and we'll figure it out tomorrow. Like I say, I'm not really feeling how this show is going. Uh, Show headlines. Let's see. Okay, that's good. That's good. Uh, Don't know why it did what it did. Let me go out and come back in and see what happened. No. Yes, it's still the same. Still the same. It is still the same. Well, shout out to Michelle. Shout out to Marlena Williams. Thank you guys for being the moderators you are. Compy girl, no questions, but you and everyone's be safe out there. Thank you. Antonio, shout out to him, Roster Man, and definitely, and everybody else that's joined us. And we'll be back tomorrow. You guys stand and I'll figure out what's going on with this and we'll get it right.
Perfect grind all the time, baby.
Yeah. Cali Miners, baby. Proof of grind all the time. Music money. Got a dollar sign. Hub City. I'm a street nigga. Streets fuck with me. I'ma keep pushing products till the fans get me. It's guap off top. Diamond Cartier. That nigga wall won't give a broke bitch the time of day. They see me climbing. They see me shining. That's hard work. Proof of grinding. New money got me tipping in that 550. Ali, bad man, and I'm so pretty. I got that tech with me. That's my hater sprayer. Go big, grind now, nigga.
Marlena Williams, go ahead and lock the door because we gone. Good night.